Number 6. This one wants us to write the expression in standard form. This is somewhat of a loaded question or problem. What they do not tell you is that you need to rationalize the denominator in order to do that. So, whenever you notice a square root on the bottom, whenever you notice an imaginary number on the bottom, then we need to rationalize the denominator, and then upon doing so, we can write it in standard form. So, we have 8 divided by 3 minus 4i. Remember, I is the square root of -1, so that's a square root. That's why we have to rationalize the denominator. In order to do so, we're going to multiply by the conjugate. Conjugate is just the same two terms, opposite sign. So 3 plus 4i on the top and bottom. 3 plus 4i. So this is what we call a math disguise. The same thing divided by itself is 1. So we're really multiplying by 1, but we've disguised it so we can simplify our problem. Alright, so on the top, I'm going to distribute the 8. 8 times 3, 24, and 8 times 4i. 8 times 4 is 32, so we get 32i, positive. Alright, and then on the bottom, difference of squares. So I'm just going to square this first number, square the second number. It's always minus. Okay, so 3 squared gives me 9, and 4 squared is 16, but I squared as well, so 16i squared. 16i squared. Alright, now we're going to simplify. So on the top, I'm going to wrap around. So on the top, there's nothing we can do. 24 plus 32i. On the bottom, we're going to rewrite this I squared as -1. So we have 9 minus 16 times -1, which will give us, on the bottom, I'm going to just do quotations, the top is staying the same, shorthand, 9 plus 16, which at the end of the day gives me 24 plus 32i over 25. Okay, so to put this in standard form, remember we have to have the real number part and then the imaginary part. Right now we have it all as one fraction. So since both of these numbers are being divided by 25, we can just write it separately. So this will be your final stage. This will be 24 divided by 25, and then plus, since we have positive in the middle, 32i divided by 25. So this is your A, this is your BI. You know, sometimes they just write the I at the back, but that's okay. So this is what we call standard form. You have to actually separate it. If you write it like this, even though they're similar or pretty much exactly the same as the right answer, it's going to count it wrong because it says write it in standard form. So be aware of that. 24 divided by 25 plus 32i divided by 25.